Say hello, everybody. What do you got? Ah, look at the hair. Hello, everybody. Hi. And welcome back to my YouTube channel. This video today is one I probably should have filmed a little while ago. It's a pregnancy, birth and labor Q&A. She's now 4.5 months old, so I know I'm very, very late to the party, but I just haven't been on YouTube as much, and I've been doing lots on my other platforms and just, you know, the juggle, the blend of everything. But let's get straight into it. So the first question that has come through, or came through quite a lot, I've got a whole heap that you guys asked me on Instagram, was how long it took us to conceive Tala. It was nearly a year, which was really hard. Anyone that is, you know, been trying for a baby, every single month that you get a negative test, it just gets harder and harder. I really did deep down trust the process, and I knew that when it was going to happen, it was going to be perfect timing. And now, like, I have her, I look at her, I'm like, that's why we had to wait, because it was always you. Like, I'm so glad it wasn't any other time that we fell pregnant, because maybe we wouldn't have got Tala. So I had that deep inner trust and faith that it would work out whatever's meant to be, but it's definitely super, super challenging. Every month you get those negative tests, so I feel you. We fell pregnant with Taj first go, so I kind of expected it not to take too long. So when it did, I felt like that hit even harder. But they say 6 to 12 months is normal. If I'd gone longer than 12 months, I probably would have gone to a fertility specialist and just gotten a lot of things checked out. A lot of questions are coming through about my birth. I did tell my birth story on my birth vlog, so if you haven't checked that out, go and check it out on my channel. But basically my whole birth was 12 hours long from the moment that my waters broke to the moment that I actually pushed her out. It was 12 hours. Taj's was 16. I was actively pushing for both of them for 2 hours, which was very exhausting. I did not have an epidural this time. I did have one with Taj. The only thing I had with Tala was gas, and it was friggin' amazing. I loved the gas. And I also used a TENS machine. I found that really helped earlier on with the contractions. But as I was getting close to pushing her, I just felt like I needed something more. And yeah, the gas was really, really good. So that's what I used. A lot of questions about tearing as well. I had second degree tearing with Taj and only first degree tearing with Tala, so only a couple of stitches. And my recovery this time was so much better, but I definitely put that down to just really resting in the 4th trimester. I really did not move from my house. I barely left the house for like 4 weeks straight. And I just rested, like horizontal, rested, just fed, slept. We actually got really sick in the 2nd week that she was born, but it just forced us to rest even more. And yeah, nutrition was just such a big focus of mine. I did hire a doula, and she cooked a lot of my meals, and they were all warming foods, nothing cold, like no smoothies or juices or acai bowls, anything like that. It was all really warming foods with lots of specific herbs and spices and different ingredients that were really meant and known to help postpartum mothers. So that was really good, and I think that really helped me recover a lot quicker and really kept my energy feeling pretty good. With Taj, I felt like I hit a point too around the 8-week mark where I really went downhill. I didn't feel that this time, which was awesome. I feel like I've been pretty consistent as in my energy wise, and I'm still feeling pretty good 4.5 months later, but I definitely put it down to just, yeah, resting after the 4th trimester and just being in a really good place emotionally. Like, I carry definitely a little bit of guilt and shame of just like, not guilt, not even shame, but more so wishing that Taj got this version of me. I feel like this time around it's just been so different and so beautiful, and I've loved it so much. But me and Steve are just such different humans. We're so different individually and as a couple. We're in such a better place, so much more connected with ourselves, so much more grounded. My nervous system is just so much more relaxed. I've got so many more tools that I've practiced to help get me to this place of like calm. And I think just second time round, you just feel so much more confident with what you're doing and all of your decisions and choices. Yes. So another question has come through asking, is it harder going from 0 to 1 or 1 to 2? Now, I reckon everyone's answers to this are going to be so different, but for me, going from 0 to 1 was 100 times harder. Going from 1 to 2 has really been a nice, smooth transition. And it's just added more life and love to our family and to our home and to our life. At first, it was hard to like adjust and find a new routine, I suppose. But now I've kind of found my groove again. I'm like, oh, this is so beautiful. So yeah, 0 to 1 was just such a shock to my system, and I just hadn't had much to do with babies prior to having my own, so I didn't really have any experience with them. I really just didn't know much. I questioned everything. I was listening to all the noise from social media and everyone's opinions. Taj had a tongue tie, like a really bad tongue tie as well, which made things definitely more stressful at the start, especially with feeding. Whereas this time she had her tongue, lip and cheeks all tied. We got them all released and it was fine. Like, she coped so well, I coped so well. The whole process was so much better. But once again, I think because my nervous system is so much more relaxed, she's obviously feeling my calm energy. So yeah, 0 to 1 for me was 10 times harder. A lot about my breastfeeding journey. I have spoken about this on Instagram stories and Snapchat. I talk a lot more on Snapchat. I don't know why. I just feel like it's because the first platform that I really opened up and was vulnerable. I feel this really strong sense of like connection with my Snapchat family. But anyways, I started sharing my breastfeeding journey and all the ups and downs, my struggles, my thoughts, things that I wanted to try, all that kind of stuff. And when I spoke about mixed feeding and thinking about mixed feeding her, the amount of DMs and hate that came my way was just awful. Like, I can't believe it's still 2022 and these kind of opinions and comments are still flying around. Like, I just think we need to support other mums and their decisions and know that everyone's doing the best they can and they're making decisions that feel right for their family. Like, I've got friends that breastfeed until they're 2. I've also got friends that never breastfed. Like, it really isn't anyone's business how they feed their child, and as long as the child is fed, that's amazing. So I kind of stopped sharing my feeding journey because just to protect my own mental health and my own emotional peace, it didn't seem worth it. But in a nutshell, we are still breastfeeding 4.5 months later, which I'm really surprised and proud of because it was so hard at the start. She just could not latch. She clicked, swallowed lots of air. My nipples were so sore. My supply was always up and down. It was really, really hard. So we're still breastfeeding, but we're also mixed feeding. My supply just has, I don't feel, was ever quite enough for her. It was in the early days, but as she got bigger, I just knew I wasn't producing enough. And then when I started exercising, I wondered if it dropped more. So we mixed feed and it's working so beautifully, and I hope that she allows me to continue to do this for ages. I would love to breastfeed for as long as I can. It's okay, puppy. Come here. I would love to continue to breastfeed. Hey, for a long time, but we just have to see how she goes. If she weans herself off or starts getting fussy or upset, then yeah, I have no problems with formula and bottle feeding, and yeah, fed is best. So yeah, it was definitely very hard, our feeding journey at the start, but it got better after her tongue was released, and now you can actually see her tongue like being able to latch properly, and she's no longer clicking as she's feeding. She still spews after most feeds, but there's no pain, no wind, nothing. So yeah, we're really enjoying our feeding journey at the moment. Hey, yes. A lot of questions are coming through about her routine and her sleep and all that kind of stuff. The first thing that I did was put a solid bedtime routine in place, and I definitely think that helped so much. So it'd be like a bath, boob, sing her a song, swaddle her, wrap her up, white noise, LED light, which is on my white noise machine, and the same time every single night. And I feel like as soon as we did that, it definitely helped her link that first half of the night. So she'd do like 7 till 12:30 or something. And then I also got the programs from the sleep teacher. She's amazing. And I also got her into my house, I think it was week 8 or week 10, just to kind of talk about our routine and what we were doing and things we could change or things we could implement to help her have longer stretches at night. And I'm a very structured routine person, and because I run multiple businesses and my social media and collaborations and all the different platforms, I need to be able to fit everything in, and so that requires me to be super, super structured and very routined. So her being in a routine helps me stay on track, because then I know when she's feeding, when she's sleeping, what she needs, when she needs it, and we can work it in around all of our schedules. A lot of you are asking if I've got my period back. Yes, I got it at 4 months, which sucks. It was so nice not to have it. But it wasn't too bad, and a few of you are asking if it affected my supply. It did not. So maybe that's something other women experience, but I didn't notice any difference in my supply when I got my period. My symptoms also weren't too bad, which is good, but I know my period got a lot worse after having Taj, so we'll see as time goes on. But I'm really going to nurture and just be more in tune with my cycle now. Like, the type of training I do a week before, how tired I feel, resting more, making sure I'm going to acupuncture a week before my period's due, and just really looking after my nervous system around that time, because I used to get quite agitated, really tired, quite snappy with Steve, and just didn't feel like myself. Like, it just felt really unmotivated and crap. And I think the more I look after myself and my nervous system, the hopefully it'll ease a lot of those symptoms. I never really got super bloated or super crampy, a little bit here and there, and sometimes some headaches. So I'm just gonna take it a bit slower the week leading up to my period, because once I start bleeding, I feel 100 times better. I'm like back to feeling like myself. You're so cute. But yeah, leading up to it is always my toughest week. Next question is, what was the hardest part about my labor and what helped me through? The hardest part was pushing, like actually pushing her out. She was just, it's raining. Oh, she was not coming out. Like, I pushed for like 2 hours and my obstetrician said, I'm gonna have to cut you or stick my fingers in and stretch you because this baby's big and she's not fitting. And I was like, oh my, like not fitting out my birth canal. I did not want to be cut. So he put his fingers in and stretched. Oh, that was so painful. Once he did that though, a couple more pushes and she was out. But I just think in that 2 hours, just like keeping my energy up, and it was pretty painful, I'm not gonna lie. I feel like leading up to it, like the contractions up until that 2 hours were painful, but Steve was honestly like so supportive and beautiful. And that TENS machine, I just felt like with Steve, the TENS machine, and just the hypnobirthing thing, like tools and techniques that I'd learned, I could get through it. Like, it was hard, but I could get through it. I didn't feel the need for an epidural or gas at that point. It wasn't until I really started to push that's when things just got so intense, and that's when I got the gas. But yeah, that last 2 hours, it was tough. I was exhausted, I was in pain, she wasn't coming out, I was feeling frustrated, I just wanted to meet my baby. So yeah, that was probably the hardest part. But then she came out and I would do it 100 times over, because look at you. So bloody cute. A lot of you are asking what feeding bras I've been using. Honestly, I feel like I tried every brand on the market and there wasn't one brand that I like really loved. The main brand I suppose that I used was Bonds, but I just felt like they didn't support me at all, and none of the sizes really fit me right. Like, if they fit me around like under here, they were too small for my boobs, but then if I went up a size, they were too big around there. Like, so Bonds is the main brand I use. There was like one soft bra that I got from Target. It doesn't even have a brand name on it. It's not seamless, but it's kind of ribbed. That was comfy, but then the back bit comes up really high in your back and it's not very supportive, but that was comfy, so I would sleep in that one. But this whole time, even before I fell pregnant, we have been developing a feeding sports bra at Baseline, and it's finally launching this month, which I'm so excited for. We've got a feeding bra, a feeding tank, shorts and tights for maternity and postpartum, and they're just so comfortable. The fabric is insane on the shorts and tights. Like, I'm obviously not pregnant anymore, but I'm going to be wearing them just because they're so comfortable. And yeah, the feeding bra is awesome because it has lots of support. It's got like so many different sizing class like clips at the back, so that it allows for when your milk first comes in and then when it settles down. And then when you stop breastfeeding as well, you can obviously still wear it as a sports bra, but it's really comfy, really supportive. It's got obviously the feeding clips at the side and then the adjustable bit at the back, and also adjustable straps. This is an interesting question, asking what style of parenting Steve and I use or follow. I would say that we are gentle parents with a slice of sternness. Like, I feel like I want to be a gentle parent, but at the same time, I'm trying to really hard to have boundaries in place and teach Taj about boundaries. Oh, bless you. Bless you. But the parenting styles I've learned about, I relate mostly to gentle parenting and also like routine parents. Like, we're very routine and structured. But like I said, that just suits our lifestyle. It's not for everyone, but when you run a business and you have staff to look after and commitments and deadlines, etc., you need to be able to allocate time to do that. So having her in a routine really works for us. But yeah, gentle and routine parents, I'd say we are. Next question says, curious as to what you did in supporting your body to conceive. Obviously you need to speak with your medical team if you think there's any problems or issues, or you're worried about anything, definitely go and seek professional advice. For me, I really wanted to make sure my stress levels were as low as possible. I went to acupuncture very, very often and just made sure I was eating as healthy as I could and just looking after my body the best that I could. And that's all really I felt that I needed to focus on, and then I just trusted and had faith that when we were going to fall pregnant, it would happen at the right time, the perfect timing. Not saying it wasn't hard every month. Like I said before, every negative test that you get is like, oh, another whole month, and it kind of consumes you as well. And I feel like it also kind of kills the spice in your sex life as well, because everything's kind of planned out around when you're ovulating. But you know it's for a season, you know it's for the higher good of making this little gorgeous munchkin. But yeah, just looking after my emotional, physical and mental health as best as I could. Pelvic floor recovery. When did I get back into training? So I saw a pelvic floor specialist, and she's also a qualified Pilates instructor as well, at the Wellness Boutique in Burleigh. So I had internal checks throughout my pregnancy, and I had one 6 weeks postpartum, and I'm due for another one as well. So I knew where my pelvic floor was at the whole time, and she gave me certain exercises to do during my pregnancy and obviously postpartum as well. I just did Pilates for the first bit in my recovery, because it's really gentle, low impact, and I just felt safe being with her for the first couple of weeks while I got my body moving again. So I definitely just make sure you get checked internally, and there'll be certain things that you can and can't do, and they'll be able to advise you what you can do personally to your birth and your body and your experience. Because me saying, oh, I did this and this was safe for me, doesn't mean it's going to be safe for you. So just make sure you're doing what's right for your body and get the clearance from your doctor and a pelvic floor specialist. When did Tala move into her own room? Also a bassinet or a cot? My baby is so noisy and I can't sleep. That was us, wasn't it? So she actually moved into her cot at 4 weeks old. Hey, at 4 weeks old, and we both slept so much better. Yes, we did. So she was in a bassinet next to my bed for the first bit, but I'm a really light sleeper, so every grunt she made would wake me up. And once she slept in her own cot, we both slept so much better. We did co-sleep for the first couple of weeks, and I love that. Once again, you've got to do what's right for you. Like, if you love co-sleeping, or you love the co-sleeper bassinets, or you want to put them in their own room, like whatever gets you the most sleep, because I feel like when you get sleep, you're a better mum, and it's better for your mental health, and there's no comparing, because every baby's so different, and you've just got to do what feels good for you. Yes, for you. Pregnancy insomnia, what did you do to help yours? I feel like I tried everything under the sun. I had so much magnesium, didn't I? She's so smiley. You look at the camera. So much magnesium. What else did I do? I'm forgetting now. Oh, I bought this like restless leg syndrome spray to put on my legs. I'd have warm baths with like lots of Epsom salts and like sleepy lavender oil. I did all the everything what everyone said, but unfortunately nothing really helped me. Nothing. Yes. Maybe if I didn't have magnesium it would have been worse off, but I slept so bad every single night. Like, I would literally wake up like 11 o'clock or something, or 12 o'clock, and not sleep for another 3 hours. Hi, what are you doing, cheeky girl? And then at the end, I honestly just got to a point where I was like, I'm accepting that I'm not going to be able to sleep, and just roll with it. And when I surrendered to it, I felt like it was almost easy to get by. And Steve was so awesome throughout my pregnancy. Like, I would hit like 3 o'clock in the afternoon and be so exhausted, and he'd send me to bed, he'd cook dinner and give Taj's shower and bath or whatever and get him organized. And he just like really stepped up to take care of me. Yes, because I had to work the whole time. I didn't really like finish up work until I gave birth. He was so cute. So yeah, I wish I had more help, but the one magnesium powder I did take was for restless legs. If you go back to a previous vlog, I showed all the supplements that I had during my pregnancy, so you can go check that out. Was the psychic accurate when she predicted Tala's personality and her being a girl? I actually went to, I think it was 4 or 5 different psychics over the last like 4 or 5 years. They all said girl, And they all said she'd be a terrible sleeper, really, really stubborn, basically just like a really hard baby. They're all right with the gender. She's obviously a girl. You're a pretty little girl, aren't you? But with her personality, no, she's actually so relaxed and so chill. She's really easy. So maybe in toddler stages, she's going to be whoa, girlfriend. Big tantrums, little bit of spew, and stubborn. Maybe later on in life that will come out, but for now she is the cruisiest, happiest, like little baby. Super easy. Lucky. What else do we have? Baby seat car recommendations. I'm definitely not the person to ask. I just went off all my friends' recommendations and went to Baby Bunting, and like just wanted to chat to them about the pros and cons of each of the car seats and which one they recommended, and I more went off them. So I recommend going to a baby store and just chatting to them, and also obviously your budget's going to take a play into it, because there's some really expensive ones and then there's obviously some more budget friendly ones. The main foods that I avoided in pregnancy, I feel like the ones they say not to have, I don't eat anyway. Like I don't eat deli meats, I don't eat seafood, I don't eat sushi, I don't eat like a lot of cheese, I don't drink alcohol. So I found it really easy. There wasn't anything I felt like I was missing out on as such. But postpartum breastfeeding, there was definitely a list of foods that my acupuncturist told me years ago when I had Taj, and that was garlic, kale, chili, chocolate, coffee, cauliflower, and cabbage. Those foods can really upset babies' tummies, and same with dairy. I didn't eat any dairy in the first 12 weeks of having both kids because I just didn't want to risk anything upsetting their tummies. So yeah, breastfeeding I was a lot more careful, but pregnancy, yeah, I didn't eat the foods they say not to eat anyway, so I found that quite easy. We'll wrap it up soon, but there is a couple more. So juggling, pumping and feeding, witching hour experiences and tips. Oh, witching hour is tough. I feel like hers only went for maybe a week, and my doula tried to teach me like to really take notice of things that might have happened in a day. Was there any loud noises? Was she overstimulated? Was she out too much? But this is when I started implementing the nighttime routine, and when I started implementing the nighttime routine, the witching hour like literally stopped pretty much straight away. But when we were in the thick of it, we went for about a week. It was hard. There'd just be afternoons where she was just like crying and just wanting to be on me and really fussy with her feeding. I would just try and be in a nice quiet room, really dim lights, and just not have too much stimulation and noise around her to try and keep her calm. I'd also baby wear her and walk down to the beach. So I'd put on my baby carrier, and I found that would really help, and she would have like, then she'd have her last nap on me, and then we'd get straight into the bath routine. So baby wearing was really, really handy. I remember Nat saying she would baby wear Onyx like most afternoons when witching hour was due to happen. But yeah, ours only lasted a week. There's another question coming through about the 4-month sleep regression. I didn't really want to buy into the regressions too much because I didn't experience them with Taj. And if anything, it's more of a progression, which I've learned from the sleep teacher. It's like when they hit that 4-month and things might go a little bit different and like backwards, you feel it goes backwards. They're actually moving forward because their sleep's maturing and they're developing new skills, and that can affect their sleep. So yeah, for about a week she had added an extra wake up. Then I also realized that at that point I felt like, and it was before 4 months too, it was a bit before, I didn't think she was getting enough milk from me, and I started to top her up with more formula, and that helped as well. So she kind of cut out that extra feed. Now she only wakes up once during the night, around 2 AM, and Steve and I alternate nights of who gets up to her, so we both get more rest, which is awesome. So yeah, I'm feeling really good. This postpartum journey has just been so much easier than Taj, and I've actually enjoyed it. Yeah, I've really enjoyed it, which has been awesome, because my first experience I didn't really enjoy. I don't know if I had postpartum depression with Taj. I definitely felt very, very down and very low and low energy and not like myself for a very long time. But I also put it down to like, I don't know, I was copying a lot of hate online. My nervous system was really unregulated. I had a lot of work stress. I had a lot of responsibilities. My team was like 5 times bigger than what it is now. There was a lot of pressure on me. I didn't get any time off. I could take this postpartum journey a lot slower. I still worked from my phone, but yeah, I just feel like me and myself and my life is so different to what it was back then. So yeah, we've had a really beautiful experience this time round and a really nice postpartum journey. So I didn't get the baby blues or any signs of postpartum depression, which I'm so grateful for. And please, if you are feeling any of those, please reach out to help. There's organizations, there's hotlines, there's charities, there's friends, there's families, even next door neighbor. There is always someone that will be there for you to listen and give a helping hand when you need. Did I have any morning sickness? Yes, I did. I had it for the first 12 weeks, but only every maybe once or twice a week, and I would spew. And one thing that I figured out made me feel so nauseous, which I'd never done it before, was taking zinc. And I've taken zinc for years, but particularly when I was pregnant, I had to stop taking that, and that helped a lot of it. And in the mornings, if I ever felt it, as soon as I got a bacon and egg McMuffin, I felt 100 times better. So that really helped. But otherwise it was just random times at night, and once I spewed I felt heaps better. But the restless leg syndrome was definitely my worst symptom in this pregnancy. In Taj's pregnancy I had no symptoms. It was like crazy how good my pregnancy with him was. Do I feel the same connection with baby Tala as what I did with baby Taj? I would say no. I would say I feel more connected with her as a baby than what I did with Taj. Once again, I put it down to just really struggling. I wasn't even connected to myself. I don't think I'd ever taken a full big breath or meditated or done any work or even learnt about taking care of my nervous system. So I felt like I just was struggling so much with life that it definitely would have affected my connection with him. However, it wasn't that I wasn't connected with him. Like, obviously adored him, but where I'm at now in my life and the connection I feel with her, I don't remember feeling like that with Taj. But as Taj got older, we have the strongest connection now, and he's so beautiful, and we're all best friends in this family, and it's awesome. But yeah, as babies, I don't think I felt the same. Do you think there is room for one more, or are you guys stopping at 2? Steve and I talk about this often. Even at date night the other night, we were eating frozen yogurt, and he looked at me and he's like, are you done? Or do you want another one? I was like, oh, I don't know. I feel like if my last pregnancy wasn't so hard, I would probably go one more. But the pregnancy was just, it was so tough. And I feel really content. I feel really content with 2. I'm just so happy right now. I don't think I can even think about having another one because I'm just so loving this time with my 2 kids that I do have. So for now, I'm going to say no. But if a little whoopsie happened, I would not be upset. Yeah, for now, I think we're both done with 2. And Steve's really happy with 2, but if I wanted a third, he would not say no. Must have things to have in your labor room. I loved having photos around the labor room. Lots of tea light candles, and also lots of coconut water. And my doula also made up this drink. It was like honey, bicarb soda, salt, and coconut water. Just really hydrating drinks to keep you going. And if you think you're likely to get hungry, just have little one-handed snacks that are easy to grab. Really comfortable pajamas. I had just button-up cheap pajamas from VW. And then obviously brown undies or whatever. So if you hop in a pool and you don't want to be naked, I actually didn't take off my clothes. No, I took off my bottoms obviously. But I had a really comfy ribbed little seamless bra. You just want to be super comfy. And then in the hospital, lots of comfy clothes, lots of breastfeeding bras, lots of button-up pajamas, outfits for Bubby, ice packs, heat packs, snacks, lots of pads, lots of nappies for you and for baby. My own pillow. I took my own pillow because we stayed in hospital for a few nights. Probably the main things. How did I get over the fear of tearing labor and birth? Hypnobirthing really helped me. I had Melissa as my coach. She's actually the one who's founded Hypnobirthing Australia. So she developed and did all the courses herself. So I was very lucky to have her because I feel like she's the one that teaches everyone else. She's the best of the best and so passionate. But she really eliminated pretty much all of my fears, and I went in really excited for birth and excited for labor, which is crazy because I had a really traumatic experience with Taj. I'm getting tired. But yeah, I went in really excited actually, not scared. And I really, really trusted my body, trusted the process. Steve and I were so connected. And yeah, hypnobirthing really, really helped take away that fear. So I highly recommend doing that course and just getting your partner on board and really focusing on your relationship, because the more connected you are, honestly, Steve was my biggest pain relief. Like, he just helped me so much through that time. So they would be my tips. What's been the hardest thing about transitioning to 2 kids? I definitely think not having as much like one-on-one quality time with Taj, but I just make sure I get a couple of dates with him. Like I take him to like his favorite sushi place, we go get frozen yogurts, and it's not more about like how much time I get with him, it's more about like the quality time. But yeah, that would, if I was to pick anything, that would be the hardest thing about transitioning, and just like figuring out a new routine that suits me, Steve, Taj and Tala, making sure that we all are getting in all the things that we want to do, that we enjoy doing, that we need to do, work-wise, school runs, baby sensory classes, Taj's sport, my training, Steve's training. Like, we're very good at communicating though, and like whatever we both... Are you pooing again? No, not yet. We're really good at communicating and honouring what we all need to be our best. So have lots of conversations with your partner about what kind of routine you want and what's important to you. But yeah, I would say they were the 2 hardest things about transitioning. Was I scared when my waters broke? No, I was so excited. Like, it makes me smile now and gives me butterflies thinking about it. Just like, I woke up to this pop and this like little splash of like water on my bed, and I was like, oh my gosh, today's the day I meet my baby. This is happening. Like, I literally get to meet a new little human. So yeah, I woke Steve up and we were just both so excited. I'd actually played a prank on Steve the night before. I'll insert it in this next clip for you guys to watch. Dad, Mom's water broke! Babe? Yeah? I think my water just broke. Whoa. Quite a bit. Yep. Okay. Ah! Here we go! Here we go, baby! Alright, let's do this. It's time! It's time! Oh, Trixie. You're so cute! Oh, that's mean. That's mean. Oh my god, you're the cutest husband ever. Oh, that's so mean. Alright guys, I think this is going to be a pretty long Q&A, so we're going to wrap it up here and go have a little play, and then Mummy's got some work to do. You want to say hi to everyone? You want to say hi? Hi? Who's that? Look, who's this? Hey, who's that? There's the camera. You say hi everyone. Hi. Hi. Thanks for watching guys. Don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss any videos and you keep up to date with our journey, and let me know if there's any other questions that I missed. Pop it in the comments below and I'll do my best to get back to you, and also click the little bell notification so you don't miss out when we upload. She's growing up so fast guys. I feel like time is just flying and it makes me really sad. I just want you to stay this little forever. Anyways guys, I'll see you in my next video. Bye.